alive, young Gabe. How are you, darling?
Yeah, I am living, laughing, and learning. Like we talking about. I'm good.
You can.
I'm good. I
Do
can't
you want to
complain.
start saying that? Would you like to start saying "live, laugh,
Oh,
love"?
I'm actually gonna put it on a t-shirt. I didn't want to tell you that because I didn't want you to, hop in on the scheme here. But no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start saying it for sure.
I started ironically saying "live, laugh, love" because, like, you know how they say like that's the white girl thing. Like the basic white girls say that. Have you heard this? You know what I'm talking
No,
about.
actually, but
You
I mean,
haven't.
I have not. I have not. I'm not, I mean, I try not to be in that spirit every day. Like, yeah. It's probably not. It's why I haven't heard it. But
Okay,
I mean,
so they say that, like, you know, like there's that joke about like white girls liking like pumpkin spice lattes.
that I've heard. They're
Yeah.
heard and seen. Yes. Yes.
I've actually no, I don't think I've had a pumpkin spice latte, but this year I might have to try it because it's talked about so much.
No, don't do it, Miranda. Stay away. You're doing so well.
I'm beginning my transition into this. But so
You're morphing into it. I get it. I get it.
the joke is that they always have like signs up in their room that say "live, laugh, love."
Uh-huh.
And so I started ironically ending conversations with friends saying "live, laugh, love." So I'd be like, "All right,
Oh.
live, laugh, love," and it was like this joke with our friends because we were like, you know. And now I fucking say it. I'm like, yeah, I'm living it, I'm loving it, I'm laughing, and it's pretty
For
weird.
real now. No, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna start saying it. And it may sound even weirder coming from me. I'm like, you're black and a man, okay. But I'll do it.
No, dude, I feel like you were sending me a few weeks back when you were sending me those messages. I asked you a question on Instagram and you were sending me a couple of voice memos, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
this man's speaking voice, like it's fucking insane.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Do,
I Voice messaging is like it's so funny because I'm like, I hope people don't think I'm trying to just hear the sound of my voice. It's the fastest way I can communicate something and move on because it's
yeah.
like so much stuff going on. Like
Hmm.
even texting with my fingers is just like it takes a few seconds off of my life, and so I'm just kind of like, let me voice message this
I
in
totally no, I totally get that. I have friends that do the same thing. Or when I want to make a point, like I'll do that too.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
sometimes you can't communicate something as emotionally via
Right.
a
Via
text.
text. No.
Yes. I'm like, you need to hear my tone of voice, babe. That's a
I feel some type of way. Yeah.
yes, you need
Right.
to hear it. My moderator Leslie is in chat, so I really appreciate her coming along. She has
Let's
been.
see.
Hi, Leslie. She has been moderating for me because my friend Santasia isn't available at the moment. We have a few people in chat. If you're in chat, say hello. As usual, my Twitch is saying I'm watching the chat on my phone. FYI, guys. My usual is saying that there's no people watching this. So we're on a bit of a time crunch today because lovely Gabe is a very busy and important man. He's a working voice actor.
I ain't important. I ain't that important. No, it's crazy. Today's been insane. So,
But I'm so excited to talk to you, Gabe. You're such a favorite, and people really,
oh,
really like Kayo. I know that when Kayo. Oh, I should start by saying hi, guys. I'm Miranda O'Hare. I'm the voice of Skye in the video game Valorant. I have the pleasure today of speaking to to Gabe Kunda. And am I saying your last name correctly?
you said it. You said it great.
Oh,
You said it
good.
great. Good job. Good job. That was really good.
And Gabe is the voice of Kayo and has had an incredible voice career at such a young age. So I'm really excited to talk to Gabe and hear about his career and voicing Kayo. How are you, Dal?
Yeah, I'm so good. It's an honor to be on, first of all, your show and your Twitch stream and everything. I've reached Nirvana.
Yeah, this is
it's
it.
cool.
This is it, babe.
I love it. No, I appreciate it. It's been cool. Like the reaction and the love from everybody for KO as well has been amazing, and so I'm grateful. Thank you for bringing me on. I'm so excited to talk with you and with the rest of the folks, man. All right, let's do it.
Yes. So we both are friends with Zachy from Valorant Hub, and I know Zachy has told me that you've played. So you've played Kayo, is that right?
Yes, I have actually quite a bit in the last few weeks. I've been streaming too, my gameplays and stuff like that, which has been man, that's been a whole kind of endeavor on that part.
What's that like?
It's well, the first time I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of self-conscious. It was like people are seeing the way I play and how I get acclimated to a game, and I was like, I don't know. But it was cool because I think it's cool. Everybody who came in the chat or who's been watching lately has been kind of seeing the progression of Gabe as KO and how he's getting better at the game. And so it's all been like cheering on, and people have been giving like great advice on like centering, on how to aim, and what does, what does heaven mean? What does this, like all that kind of stuff. And these are like terminologies of like where to look when somebody's like calling out something and stuff. So anyway, it's been amazing. To kind of go through that progression, and I've never done any kind of stream like this. Like I've always, if I'm playing, I'm like playing on my own, and I'm just kind of yelling at myself for not getting something. But now to be exposed to the masses and people seeing how frustrated I am when I don't get something is kind of like another height there. So yeah, it's been cool. It's been fun.
So, and how do you? I mean, have you done a lot of video games before you booked KO?
A lot of No, not a lot of video games. I've done some. I think I've done a few, but nothing like, it wasn't anything crazy. Like it wasn't like, I think right now I can't remember. I think I was on Far Cry, Orcs Must Die 3. What else did I do prior to KO video game wise? I've done like little bit parts in other games, just like smaller games and stuff. And so no, not a lot. Oh, also like Marvel. Like I played War Machine and Marvel Super War, and so yeah, I mean, not a ton, but just enough to understand the landscape of kind of like what video games entails and what type of chops I would need to bring to the table in order to book one. So
yeah. And what do you think I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself because I should probably start with your career, but I just am interested to know. Good. What do you think the difference between voicing something like a video game and because people ask me this on TikTok a lot, like what's the difference between doing a voice for a video game versus doing a voice for an animation, or like what is the difference with video games, do you think?
For me, I feel like the performances, video games for me are like movies. They're like, I feel like they're almost more cinematic and movie-like than an animated series. And so with that, it means that the portrayal of the character is a lot more grounded. There's not necessarily like funny voice of like, I'm gonna kill you, Timmy. Like all the performances are pretty. These sound like real people going through real things, and unless you're a dragon or a monster or whatever, it's pretty cinematic in what they're trying to go for. Right. And you can even tell in that the motion capture that they use, and it's actual human beings doing that. In animation, not so much. It's all drawn and everything. And so there are some things on Netflix even that have more ground. Like I said, Castlevania as one animated series that I think has more grounded performances. It's not necessarily like funny voices or things to make people laugh. It's more like, just more soap opera-ish in the sense of seriousness and all that stuff. So, but I think video games, yeah, like I said, it's more grounded and more real. It's not about necessarily making a funny voice. It's about making like they're looking for like real people to bring characters to life, and real voices and real gravitas rather, and making it sound like something off of a film, a AAA film.
Yeah, that's such an interesting answer, and I really like that. So Val was actually the second voiceover job I ever booked.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I felt.
Good night.
I was like, oh, okay.
That's amazing. Golly. Wow.
So I randomly I was signed commercially. I was just an actor, got asked to audition for the voiceover department because I had an accent. Really, they were like, "Oh, you have an accent, so you can do accents." And I was like, "I mean, that's not what that means, but yeah, sure, give it a crack." And then I did it, whatever, got signed, started auditioning, and like figuring it out. And I the first video game that I booked, it was a small game, but they gave me a monologue. And it was just like literally like a really well written character monologue. It was, and I performed it, and then I ended up booking that, and that was never dialogue in the actual video game.
Video game, yeah.
And I remember thinking that was really bizarre because in my head I had this stereotype of how a video game voice sounds, and it's just this melodramatic, like hexes, you know, like that kind of like I can't explain it. That voice that is just not even a person, you know. Right. But I think things have probably changed a lot.
Oh yeah. It's even in animation. I think animation even now, like separate from video games, like I think they're now also starting to go to the more realistic. I mean, I get that audition all the time. It's like we want it to be grounded reads. We don't want cartoon voices. So as you can tell, like everybody's moving to that more connecting thing. Unless you're doing like a Nickelodeon cartoon thing. But even then, they're starting to ask for that kind of performance as well. So it's even more so in video games. Like it's if it's I'm gonna go to, if the line is I'm going to go to the store. Maybe in 2000, I'd say prior to 2015, 16, it would have been like, I'm going to go to the store, but now they're asking you to say, hey, could you bring some realism to it? So it's going to be like, I'm going to go to the store. That kind of feel of like, you sound like a human being. You don't sound like someone who's just, like happy-go-lucky all the time. And so all of those, like hitting those markers, understanding the script as well, working with the director. I think those are the main things. There's just more weight to the characters here. Even something like Valorant.
You know what that tells me, and this is like me having a wanky actor moment, so forgive me, but that tells me that telling the truth will always be the most important thing in the story. Just tell the fucking truth,
Exactly.
Because it's acting. Voice acting is acting, and like it's so interesting how that's coming back in, because I think especially we learned this a lot during the pandemic that like voice, like animation, like we could still work during that time, like any VO work. I'm sure you were so busy last year.
Oh my gosh, it was heaven for voice actors. I mean, we were like the requests for just everything in terms of voiceover was exploded, and so we were the only kind of sect of the entertainment business that wasn't necessarily like attacked per se. I think there was a lot of celebrities who were not figuring out, hey, how do I get into voiceover? How do I become Skye in a Valorant, or like a Kayo because we're working from home and we pull out our mics and we understand that world. But yeah, all that to say, yeah, it was pretty different.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to make sure that I hear this journey. Tell me how you got into voice acting. How did this happen?
Yeah. So I was interested in voice acting when I was a sophomore in high school. I was doing like I was in class, and my teacher asked me to read a passage in a book, and I was so bored of how the other students were reading it, so I just kind of wanted to make it more epic, like the organism was green. And mind you, back then, like my voice was not deep at all. It was super like the organism was green. It was like, I'm like 15, 16, I don't know. Like, so it's not coming out that way. So, but my teacher was like, at the end of the year, she was like, man, you should think about doing the announcements for school. So I went home and prepared to do, because we had auditions at our school to do the announcements. So it's like, welcome kids to Summit High School, like that whole thing. And I went home and went to go research like how to be an announcer. And so I went on YouTube and looked up announcers, and then I saw this video called $1 Million Voices, and it's still on YouTube to this day. And it showed Don LaFontaine, who was like the great voiceover god in terms of movie trailers. Like you've heard his voice 100 times.
Really?
And yeah, and it changed my life. Like I saw that and I was like, yo, this is what I want to do for a living. And from then on,
Oh,
I've been
that's so
chasing after that.
beautiful.
And I've been going after it hard. And I've, through the years, I was doing little mom and pop shop commercials, and then I got started doing impressions online just to get my name out there. And then finally, I did more, stuff to get some money together to create a voiceover demo. I did a voiceover demo and sent it into an agency, Atlas Talent, who's still my agency to this day, in 2017. And they signed me, and they were like, yeah, you sound, you're from Texas, and you're young, 20, I think it was 22 when I signed, or 23, 22 when I signed. And they were like, you sound like you've been knowing what you're doing. And so I was like, I've been studying this for so many years. Like, I'm ready. And yeah, I've been doing it full time for 4 years now. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
And just for anyone watching, like, your voice acting is so competitive. To be doing it full time, it's wow. Dude, I was signed for a year before I booked anything. I was signed for a year. I called my agency and said, do you guys want to fire me? Because I haven't booked anything and it's been a year. And they told me, they were like, no, this is like what happens. This is like, because when you go out for stuff, and I don't know, where we obviously have incredibly different voices, but like you're up against people that have been doing this full time for years and years and years. Iconic voices.
Yeah.
So it's such a competitive field.
Yeah, it was, especially in video games and animation, it's already it's competitive, and it's also tight-knit because a lot of people that come into it think it's like, I have a funny voice, I can do this, and it's not really what's required, a funny voice or like an interesting sounding voice. It's really about the acting, and the people who know that secret are the ones that are working consistently and booking consistently, because they're not just sitting auditions where it's just like like they're really bringing characters to life, and so a lot of these casting directors, they have their go-to people because they know if they bring these people in, they're gonna get the job done and they're gonna do it well, and they don't have to direct them on every line, And so anyway, all that to say, it's competitive, and it's hard to get the casting director to trust, oh, who's this new cat coming in? Can I trust them to get this character to life when we're working on a DreamWorks animated series or whatever that's costing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, So anyway, it's a lot that plays there.
And what for you, as someone, who you maybe I missed this, but you didn't traditionally train as an actor, right? Like did you take a bunch of classes or anything?
No, but I did do musical theater and also some like acting classes when I was in high school. Not like, and I don't want to make it seem as if like that's what did it, but for me, it kind of helped with pretending to be somebody else. It helped me get out of my shell, performing in front of people, that kind of stuff. So I did that for a couple of years in high school, and then I did it some more. I was in opera stuff in college, and I did I performed musically and also did some plays and stuff like that, but nothing. I wasn't taking like acting classes like consistently. No, I wasn't.
Because it's interesting to me. Yeah, no, dude, they're so fucking expensive. I'm taking acting classes right now, and I'm like, holy shit, it's so expensive. But it's interesting to me that, like, that you were able to be such a good storyteller without that training. Like, it just must have been a natural thing for you that you were able to do that. But I also think that the singing, because it's storytelling.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think another thing is I loved cartoons when I was younger and watching animated stuff a lot and playing video games a lot. And so that stuff was already in me. And I would also I played with action figures till I was like 16 or something like that, or 17. I know it's hilarious, but like I would remember I would like pretend like I would have one He-Man toy, and then I'd have like a Mario toy, and I would change his voice to go against Mario's voice or whatever. And I would change my voice for each character. And I was already kind of in the habit of that. And so as getting older, it just kind of happen. But with music is a big part of like the way I work voiceover wise, because I'm able to tap into different parts of my range and to kind of bend and pull, and it's like singing to me. It really is. And so yeah, that so true what you said. Music is that's my first love actually. So it's like I always hear it in those type of terms.
It's funny, because I've done some singing, like some. I would never sing in front of anyone, but I was in a movie in Australia and I played a singer, so I had to like learn like basic stuff. Yeah, it wasn't.
Sure.
Thankfully, it was like 2 scenes where she sang, but like I had to sing a jazz song anyway. Fear of God. It was terrifying. It was probably the most scared I've ever been in my life. But
Oh no.
I was I was like, holy shit. But I've been thinking recently about taking singing classes, not to like be a singer or anything, but just to like see how that affects my voice and changes it and like impacts even my acting or anything like that. I just think it would be interesting to see.
I think you should. I mean, what I love about it is the fact that I now I know my range very intimately. I know how low I can go. I know how high I can go. I know that, if I like for a character that's a big scary monster or whatever, or like has a big tooth, I can kind of, I know if I can make him deep, okay, I can make him deep, and now he's a monster, he has huge teeth, and now I have to talk like, and so I know how to kind of like alter things to make it sound like what they're portraying on the page or whatever. And honestly, because of music and because of understanding singing and my instrument, I'm able to do that and understand, okay, this is where my voice kind of taps out, so let me go a little lower in the range and let me stick in that kind of vicinity, or this is where I'm more resonant in my voice, where it cuts through the best or whatever. And so anyway, all that to say, I think you should. I think you discover a lot.
Yeah, sure. That's more what it is, isn't it? It's about discovering something, and
Sure.
and that would be so interesting. Okay, so tell me how you got Kayo and how that all came to be, and what sorry, I'm trying to follow my phone keeps logging out. Discovering something. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm trying to follow the Twitch on my phone. Yes, tell me about booking Kayo. How did this happen? Did you know what Valorant was?
No, but I did see a trailer of it that I didn't know was Valorant. I thought it was an animated series that was coming out. So the first trailer I saw was Phoenix and Jet like running through the streets or whatever. And it was back in 2020, wasn't it? I think. Yeah. 2020.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was like, oh, this is an animated series. Like, how come I didn't get an audition for this? Like, I was like, what the heck? I want to be a part of this. Like, this is cool. Didn't think about it. A year goes by. I get an audition for this character that's a robot, and I was like, okay, cool. Didn't know anything. I mean, it literally, when I look at the auditioning thing now, it says the name there, but it never clicked together like what it was.
It said Valorant.
Well, there was a document that I signed. I think it was like an NDA or something like that I signed.
Oh, and that had it.
And that had it, but I don't know. I don't remember the trailer. So I auditioned. I remember I like pulled it up and I was like, okay, he's a robot. I was like, okay, but he like, I was looking at the lines and the lines felt really like conversational. It didn't sound like something a robot would say. And I was like, if a robot says this in a very monotone, like, hey, I'm KO. Like if a robot did that, or like, what's up, I'm KO. Like if a robot did that, we'd all be like, that's a little strange for a robot to kind of say that. So I was like, maybe they're trying to go for something more realistic. And so mind you, I had already recorded like third of the way down of the audition, but I deleted everything.
Of you doing the robot voice?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I thought that's what they were wanting, but I kept going down the script and I was like, there's no way they want something more like more chill, more like
cool, basically.
Cool, more real. Yeah. And so I was like, I deleted the tracks and I started from ground zero, and that's where KO's voice, came out. I was like, yo, what's up? I'm KO. Brimstone, got your back. That kind of stuff. Like I did that, and I auditioned, I sent it in. I think I gave 2 takes. I think, yeah, 2 takes each line. I sent it in and didn't think of anything of it. The week went by, and then another half a week went by, and then I got a call from my agent. Was like, so you just booked such and such. You just booked Valorant, and they want you to play the voice of at the time it was Grenadier. That was the code name. They want you to voice Grenadier, and I was like, what is this for? And then when we got the session, I was told, oh yeah, it's this game, Valorant, yada yada yada, and this is what we're doing. And then I went to go kind of do some reconnaissance, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the game I've been looking at last year. This I was looking at, and my mind was blown. So, fun fact, this is where Zachy comes in, because before each session, I would go and watch information about Valorant, and I would watch Zachy's Valorant Hub,
Shut
and just kind of
up!
get. I kid you not. I would watch his videos to try to get more information. I mean, the directors did a great job informing me, but I wanted to get more like the community, and I wanted to get like what is the audience perspective on the show, like on the
Characters.
the character
Yeah.
and stuff. And I did that for like 2 months. Actually, I did that leading up to the release of Kayo, and it was hilarious to me because they were getting so many of the things. They were like, oh yeah, his name's Kayo, he does this is his weapon. And I'm like, I would go back to the directors like, how do they know this stuff? Is somebody leaking something? What's happening?
And what was somebody
anyway.
leaking it?
From what I understand, leaks happen quite a bit,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But it's also the fact that, Valorant Hub, Zachy is really good at his job too. I mean, he knows how to piece things together pretty well.
Yeah.
So, hey, but it was just, yeah. Anyway, that's how I got a booked KO, and it was like, it was a dream come true, because I've never been a part of a game where they're updating it every time. Like, it almost feels like a TV series a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm working on another show where, I'm a regular on there, and I'll go and I'll come in, I'll do more lines, and then I'm gone for a few months, and I come back and I do more lines, and I'm like, this kind of feels like a TV show cast to be a part of. And so it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
That's so cool. And it's so funny that, did you ever see that he had done videos with me? Because I thought that I thought that he reached out to you. Like, he just knew you were in it, and then he was like, yo, Gabe, like, you want to come on?
No, Miranda, what happened was I hopped in his Twitch, and he didn't know who I was. And I asked him in his Twitch, I said, do you have any idea who the voice of KO is? And he thought I was just a regular viewer, and he was like, nah, I don't really have a clue yet, but I'm sure it's going to come out soon. And for 3 days leading up to Valorant KO's release, I would go into his Twitch and kind of mess with his brain a little bit. I was like, yeah, man, I can't wait to hear the voice and this and that and the third. And then it came out, and then he was like, yo, wait, why did you, he was like mind blown by it.
You're hilarious. I did not fucking know that. Oh my God. That's so good.
For you, I knew you just because your name came, I almost said an expose, but it wasn't an expose. It was like a who is Skye?
Yes.
You were the last agent, well, at least, no, you weren't the last agent, but you were the agent that I knew about first, because for whatever reason, your agent was coming up. Skye was coming up a lot in the search results and stuff like that. And there was a video that came up about him discussing who you were, voicing Skye and stuff. And so that's how I knew you, just based on his video about it. And so anyway, all I had to say, I kind of had a feeling, it was like, oh, Miranda Skye, for sure.
That's so funny because so he made a video about me, and people had been making videos about, he got a lot of, like, to be honest, like, some of the information was wrong, but, like, that wasn't, like, that was just, like, the internet had incorrect information or whatever, and
wow.
People kept making all these videos, and people were doing weird shit, Gabe. People were taking fucking, oh, this is what happens when you're a woman. People were taking photos of me, like, any photo I might have posted, like, on my Instagram in a bikini, creating, like, clip videos and putting them on YouTube, and like just weird shit started happening. I was getting tagged in like close-up photos of like my boobs that someone had just like I'm like obviously wearing clothes, but someone's like zoomed in,
but still,
and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So I was, and I kind of like you know, I didn't really understand really what Valorant was, and I was really sort of like, I'd reached out to Carolina, and you've spoken to Carolina, right?
Yeah, she's great. Love her.
Yeah.
Love her.
So I'd spoken to Carolina, and she'd kind of explained some stuff to me, but I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And then he made this video, and I saw it, and it was like I could tell like he was like professional and intelligent and stuff, and his channel was really like informative and smart. And so I reached out to him, and then we just became friends. But it's so funny because and I don't know if you've had the same experience, but someone followed. Oh, Leslie subscribed. Thanks, Les.
Ooh.
Thanks, Les. I appreciate you.
What's up? Nice.
Hang on 2 secs. Sorry.
Sure.
Trying to check. Oh my goodness. I'm really bad at technology. What the fuck was I saying, Gabe? What was I just telling you?
You were saying that you talked to him and you got connected with him and
I can't remember. Okay, well, what time is it right now? Oh, it's 1:35. We still have a little bit of time. But okay, so you get this voice and then you start that's what I wanted to ask you. What was your experience like deciding to go on Twitch?
So I streamed the first time in June, and then I took a break and then came back in August, I guess. So end of August, and started doing that. It was kind of overwhelming because the concept of like playing a game, looking at a chat and trying to, it's a lot at one time. And also like the amount of people who were coming in and saying, oh my God, could you do this voice? Could you, or this line? It was a lot, but it was fun. It was dope. And I've been continuing to do it on Tuesday nights and just trying to, whenever I get a chance, hop on. It was cool getting to play Kayo and do his voice. Hearing myself is, wow. In that place is kind of crazy, but it's been fun. It's been very enjoyable, and people who come in have been real kind and sweet, and just kind of saying I think I spoke to one person who was asking for a voice line, and I did a voice line, and they're like, thank you, I was having a really terrible day, and hearing you do that just really picked me up, and I was like, that's what it's about. Thank you.
So, are you on Cameo, Gabe?
No, I'm not on Cameo.
Boy, get on Cameo. You got it.
That's the well, you give shout outs, and they people commission you for a shout out, rather.
Yeah. It's like you just make personalized videos for people, like wishing. People request you to say things. Like normally it's just like a pep talk or say happy birthday, like stuff like that. But yeah, you should absolutely be doing it because it's.
I will check it out.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just ask me. But it's definitely. I mean, I'm sure people would love to see you on there.
I'm down. I'm up for the cause. I'm up for the cause. That'd be dope.
So what do you hope to do in the future? Like what do you hope your career holds?
Ooh, what a question. Man, I think voiceover as a whole is an aspect of me. I don't think it's everything. It's an arm of what I love to do. And I'm very much a creative. Like I don't like to be stuck in one thing. I like to move around and kind of keep a lot of plates spinning creatively. But voiceover specifically, like I would love to do more games like this, and more like I've been crazy this year working on animated series that can't talk about just yet. But my goal was to like land a couple more a show and be a regular on the show, and I did that, and so that's been really amazing for me. And my goal is to do more of that. I think outside of that, I have an a cappella group that I sing in. Yeah, the name is King's Return, and we sing. We have a Christmas project coming out in a couple months. Make sure you listen to it.
Yeah.
But the goal with that is like to one day be nominated for a Grammy or something like that. Like that would be cool.
Oh my God! Wow. I didn't realize you were so involved in music.
Oh yeah, like I actually, that's my degree. My degree is in Bachelor's in Music Education, and so like before voiceover. Like I was supposed to get my degree and then go right into teaching music. But what would happen was, what happens once I got signed to Atlas for voiceover, I'd be teaching kids. I'd do an internship at a school teaching kids, and then I'd get a call. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it's my agent saying, hey, so Fox needs you in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, what the? I'm teaching kids. I can't. He's like, yeah, you need to be ready. And so that would happen over and over again. And I told my parents, I was like, hey, listen, I'm not going to be able to I'm not gonna be able to do teaching full time if I'm gonna do this. Like, and plus it pays more. Come on.
Yeah.
So my parents were like, go for it. And so well, we haven't looked back ever since. It's been really rewarding. But yeah, I think that's for me. I'm all over the place. I'm also working on an animated series right now called Star Child. I'm co-creating it with my friend Brandon. And we are Powerhouse Animation, the folks who did Castlevania and He-Man series and a bunch of others. They're actually animating everything, and so the goal is to get that on a streaming platform, and we'll make sure to get you in there, Miranda. We got to get you as a voice actor on that.
Oh my god, I would love to. I'll send you my demo reel.
A demo reel. I'm gonna send you the stuff. Don't worry about it. Like it's all good. But no, that's kind of my world. It's always revolving and living here with my beautiful wife as well.
I was gonna ask you about your wife. I have to know. Okay, what does your wife do?
My wife is actually an opera singer.
Oh my god! Shut up.
No, she is. Yeah, she's an opera singer, and she's finishing up her master's right now in vocal performance, and it's been great. Like she's also in that field of gigging and from show to show and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what she does. And we met each other in high school. We didn't start dating until my junior year in college, because I was like, in high school and at the beginning of college, I was like, I don't need girlfriends. I just need to focus on school and make sure I graduate. And so she so kindly was patient with me, and then we got married in 2019.
Oh my goodness. And so I don't know if you want to say where you live, but like, you don't live in LA. Do you ever? Yeah. Oh, you live in Texas. Okay, you're okay. I didn't want to out you, but do you feel like you need to live? Like when you booked Kayo, right? Did they just send you to a studio in Texas?
No, I did it all in my room, in this room. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So okay, the funny thing is, like, prior to the pandemic, I had several conversations with my agent of like, they told me that, hey, listen, if you want to do more animation and more video games, and like you really want to make a splash in that world, which you can, because we've heard like you can, but you need to be in LA, right?
Right.
And so I've been going back and forth about that, and the reason like it's been hard is because my wife and I got married and we got a home here. The home that we have here, it's not like anything massive, or it's a 3-bedroom home, and it's, whatever, we got a nice backyard or whatever. But this same home in LA would be, a couple $1 million. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that.
And congratulations on owning a home. That's a huge achievement.
Oh, thank you. I mean, again, I was like, even if I had the money to do it, like, it's just like, that's a lot, bro. And so anyway, I was always like hesitant, so I would fly back and forth. Now, the pandemic happened, and I'm like, woo! Like, it's not woo, and like it's a great thing, but because it's a lot of things have happened, terrible things have happened. But in regards to just work, everybody's working from home, and like no one wants to come in, no one wants to take the chance to go into a studio and catch something. Like, so I've literally done maybe four video games in this studio thus far, and 2 animated series in this place thus far. And if they ever need me to come out, then they'll book me a studio. But everybody's understanding that home studio is the future for sure, especially for video games.
That's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, because they got me to come in. They never even. Maybe they just knew I didn't have a home studio. Maybe my agency told them.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll ask you like, "What is your setup?" And if you say like, "I have like I don't know, like if you say I'm working in a closet and I just have like because some people record on their iPhones or whatever, then they'll be like, you gotta come in, like we want to make sure that but if I have pretty much everything I need, and it's pretty quiet in here. I've got the right mics, I got the preamps or whatever, and they can just connect in and record me from where they are in LA. So
that's crazy. Yeah, but you could see them all via Zoom.
Yeah, they can see me, and we can see each other. It's I mean, it's like I'm in the same room with them. The only difference is obviously I'm not, and they don't everything they can control on their side. So, and if I need to adjust something on my side, then they just say, hey, can you move the dial this way or whatever. But it's it's worked. I've done Call of Duty in here, I've done Valorant, done a couple other stuff, Marvel games and stuff, and so it's been really cool. Another thing is like I've had this stuff because I do like television promo, movie trailers, and commercials, which is like my first stuff. And then video games and animation came a little afterwards. So I was already prepared. So when the pandemic happened, there was a lot of people who were kind of like, oh my God, what the heck am I going to do? But I pretty much had my stuff ready to go.
Yeah, you were ready. What is your mic rec for like $400 or $500 price range? I'm going to write this down.
Ooh, I love the Rode NT1.
The Rode NT1. Y'all, I'm writing this in my phone.
Rode NT1. It is like, that's literally, I right now I use a Neumann TLM 103, but I feel like the Holy Three is like, in terms of like progression, is like Rode NT1, and then for me, it's the Sennheiser 416. Now, funny thing about the Sennheiser 416, which you probably recognize the mic because you're like also an on-screen actor. It's one of those boom mics that they hold like this in front of you. Yeah. Like, yeah. So, funny thing is like we use that mic for movie trailers and like promos because it's so super directional and it cuts through the sound. It's really dope. It's really a powerful shotgun mic is what they call it. And then after that, I have the TLM 103, which you can see here. This is like you're gonna see this in every studio you go to for the most part. This or the U87. And yeah, I use this for video games, narration, and stuff. But the Rode NT1 is I think it's about $200. I think $300,
really?
Maybe.
Wow. And it's good.
If you EQ it. Yeah, if you EQ it well, you can make it sound like this guy. But I'm gonna, this one is like $1,000, I think, $1,100 or something like that.
Oh damn! That's such. Oh, I love this information. This is good for me.
Yeah, pair it with the preamp as well because it's an XLR. Like you've got to plug into XLR. The Scarlett, I use the Scarlett 2i2 before I got my Apollo. I was using that. The Scarlett 2i2 or the Universal Audio Aero. That's really nice too. And the great thing about the Aero is like literally you plug in your mic and it's a USB-C to your laptop and you're connected. You don't need any like 5 wires to plug things in. Like it just turns on.
Oh my goodness. Guys, this is really valuable information. I'm going to be rewatching this part of the stream later on. Yeah, because I really got to upgrade the old Blue Yeti, but she's hanging on.
No, if they can't tell, then...
But, I wonder if they can or not. Like, I don't know. It's really like, because once you in editing, like you can edit out like a lot of stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's not as good as yours, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think I think it's more so they want everybody to sound pretty much the same across the board. So there's going to be a couple of mics that they're going to ask for, maybe like to Neumann, or maybe it's a U87, which... that's like a $4,000 microphone, so I don't expect. I don't even have that, and I'm not gonna buy it because it makes no sense. At a certain point, you can discern whatever. So it's like there are a couple of mics where they'll be okay with you recording from home. If you don't have those mics, then they may send. Like I've had a company actually send me gear to record in my home.
Wow.
It's been that crazy, but. Yeah, I think it's just mostly their specs and what they're looking for, and if they want to hire you, they're gonna make it work and try to figure it out. They won't pass you up.
I'll tell you a secret. My neighbor is actually quite a successful music producer. And sometimes I will go to his house if it's a good job. He's my neighbor, so I walk over to his house. It's 2 seconds away. And I'll record in his studio if it's a bigger job. Like sometimes I'll just be like, do you have 10 minutes or whatever for me to do it?
Oh, wow.
And he has a mic in his house. And listen, this is what he said. I don't know if this is fucking true, but the mic is $10,000.
Oh my God, what is it, like a Telefunken?
I don't know.
What is that? Oh my God, 10 grand.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay.
But he's a big pop music producer, so like maybe
Yeah.
that's necessary. I don't know.
Maybe it is. For me, it comes to a certain point where your average listener, your Joe, like, is not going to be able to tell that that's a $10,000 microphone.
Right.
Like they will be able to tell. I think some people will be able to discern from a USB microphone to an XLR, and even now they're starting to make it so seamless that you can't tell whether it's a USB or not. But like, once you go to 10 grand, like it starts to become like, I like this sound versus this sound just because I like maybe a couple of things in it. But there's nothing that's just kind of like, whoa, that's a $10,000 microphone right there. Nah. But God bless him. I mean, I'm sure he's a music producer. He's doing it full time. Then he's got to be doing something right with it. So,
My loves. Okay, so we've got a few more minutes left before our sweet Gabe has got to get out of here. Shout out to Zachy, who is late but he's here. Hi, my dude. We love you very much.
Zachy!
So will you do us the honor, Gabe? So I would love it if you do some Kayo voice lines, but if you want to do any other, like if there's any other character like that anyone wants to request or anything, like feel free. You don't just have to do Kayo, but obviously we got to hear some Kayo.
Oh, no, absolutely. Let me I should have had this pulled up because I don't really remember all the lines. But
we definitely don't have any lines. I'm like 99% sure that you and me don't have any lines together.
Are you sure?
I thought. I'm not.
Oh, like interacting together? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe not interacting, but I thought I have a line where I refer to you.
I think
because
you do.
I think I say something about. I think I say this is probably more lore. I think I say something about Skye being more powerful than what it looks like, what it seems, which is very interesting. I would be very excited if I heard that, like, because it's like that means there's going to be a lot of character development for Skye, right, Miranda? Yeah, right.
I've heard some things, yeah.
Yeah, so and also like I've heard your pick rate too, man. Like now everybody's a Skye main. Now everybody's main is Skye. I love it.
Oh, they like me now. They didn't like me a year ago. I mean, I was getting fucking abused on TikTok a year ago. They still come for me, and I argue with 14-year-olds in my comments. I'm not better than that. They're like, you suck. I hate your voice.
God, dog. Oh my God.
I'm like, shut up, Michael.
Right. I hear you. I have some of your lines memorized just from hearing it. Hulk out. Blinded. What's another one? Oh my gosh. There's one that you say that's so, I love it. It's talking.
Is it talking to Yuru when I say the flower girl thing?
Yes.
Yeah. I say, no thanks. I've got enough. But call me a flower girl again, and I'll break your nose.
Break the nose. Yes. I don't know why I remember this stuff, but it's just kind of like playing it all the time and hearing it all the time. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But anyway, I'm supposed to do some KO lines, right?
Yes.
Let me see.
If y'all want to request anything as well.
Oh, okay. Everyone's motor functions okay? I know humans get tired. Let's make a plan, then execute. Catch your breath. Not that I need to, of course. Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine, like, if I got a fucking audition for a robot like Kayo, because you must have seen the animation in some way. Maybe it didn't look exactly like Kayo, but...
No, I did see his drawing, which is pretty similar to what he looks like now. But man, I mean, with the dog tags and like the way he was dressed and stuff, like, to me, it was like, this man sounds like he feels things, you know? So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I had to kind of like shoot for the stars. And like, if it if it didn't work, it didn't work. But the response I got from the writers, I got a little note from the writers that my agent said, "Hey, I want to pass this along. This is what they said when they heard your audition." And it was a very, and I won't say what it said just because, you know, whatever, but like, it was a very, 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 very kind note on what they felt like I brought to the character and how like I stood out from what they were hearing. And when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, because anybody who sees that is gonna think I'm gonna make him a robot. And so I don't know. I think it was a risk that I go ahead and make him sound the way he sounds now, like cooler, I guess, whatever that means. But like, yeah. Anyway, all I have to say,
I love
he's
that.
our boy. He's our bot.
I love that. Yes. So let's hear a few more. I'm really conscious to not go over time because I know you have a call time soon. So
somebody put if I power down, restart me. You leave me for scrap, I'll kill you.
That was fucking good. Oh, kill mode activated. Is that kill mode activated as default?
Yeah. I think it's activating kill mode. That's a joke. Kill mode is default. I think that's the line, I think.
Oh my goodness. Is Kayo's pick rate how's he going? Are people figuring out how to play him?
I think Kayo is still kind of like, I think after the last buff, I just, you know, people started a little bit, you know, playing him a little bit more, but I think he's also, with him being still newish, not as, at least I don't see a lot of it, but I do get, it's crazy because I do get a lot of DMs and messages from people saying like, I'm a KO main and this and that and the third. But I think people love him because he brings him back to the CS:GO, Call of Duty, you know, tactical, you know, just kind of your shooter.
Right.
No magic stuff going on. He's pretty straightforward. But I don't know. I think it's I think it's on the slower side, but I'm sure over time it'll kind of.
Oh, it'll change. I mean, Skye was literally like the last pick for so long. Like everyone was like, everyone hates your character. And then I don't know why it changed. I think maybe because she was getting picked more in esports. So that kind of like starts to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Kind of esports kind of changes the tide a little bit with stuff.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so let's get 3 more lines out of you, young man, and then we're gonna let you go. Do you have the lines in front of you?
Yes.
You do. Okay, fantastic.
There's one that says, just like last time, search, destroy, repeat.
Oh, I like that one. That one's good.
Oh my gosh. The other one. Oh. They're fighting to the end. Typical and pointless. And I gotta do an ultimate too, right? We gotta do an ultimate.
Yeah.
What's a good ultimate?
I was on Carolina's stream and she goes, "Do your ultimate," and I go, "What's that?" And the writer was watching, the writer from, and he was like commenting what it was, and I was like, oh my lord, I look like an idiot.
Yeah, I guess the ultimate that I'm familiar with is the "you are powerless" one. You are powerless. That one. Man. Even when I hear that on the game, when I'm playing in the game, I'm like, it's about to go down. So I
love it. The last thing I'll say to you is, have you heard Jason, who voices Omen? Have you heard him doing Omen's lines?
You know what? I heard him on one of your TikToks.
Yes.
And, I'm like, this dude is scary. He had to have been the only one. Once they heard his voice on the audition, they must have been like, signed, sealed, delivered. Like he's the one that's bringing him in because he is good. He makes me get chills.
No, he's fucking. It's bananas, and he's the nicest guy ever. And what's interesting is that he also is in this really adorable show where he plays a bird that like is the receptionist at a hotel, and he's like a completely different, like he's got also a really beautiful speaking voice. It's just so crazy to think that he has that range. Makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's I think I have some lines with Omen as well. Is he says, Omen, you are a capable fighter. Okay, that is all. That's it's like such a funny line. But yeah, he's great. I love him.
All right, Gabe, I have loved talking to you. Thank you so much for coming along, guys, and also for doing those voice lines for us. Leslie, hang on 2 secs. I stopped watching the chat. Leslie, if there's anyone that you want to raid, my darling, do it. I love it. I trust you. Raid a friend. Raid someone else. I don't know. Guys, don't forget to follow myself. I'm on Twitch. I'm on TikTok. I'm on bloody YouTube. I'm everywhere.
Follow.
And so is Gabe. Gabe just like he's starting to post so much more YouTube content, which we love to see. You're on TikTok. I don't see you on TikTok enough. So I would like you to post more TikToks.
Yeah, I'm learning from you, I swear. Like, I'm like, what did Miranda do? And I'll go to your TikTok and I'm like, oh, that's what she did. And I'll go back to mine and I'll do it. I'm like, you're paving the way for us. Keep on going.
I love TikTok. It's so fun to me. So yeah, follow Gabe on everything. He's fantastic. He's so talented and like truly is going to be one of the biggest names in voiceover. Like, you will, for real, like no shit. Like you're absolutely heading in that direction. So watch this space, guys. Thanks so much for being with us today. I'm going to wrap it up. We love you guys. Bless you.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye.